Blip the throttle and downshift is really all about what a race car driver knows to do, right? They are doing that in like fractions of a second to win races. And when they use this technique, they use it, frankly, when they're turning corners, right? So when
Mhm.
they're turning corners, what they do is they literally blip the throttle, which means that they disengage the gear, sort of press the clutch and accelerate, which means that the engine revs up. So they're basically driving up the RPMs for the engine, and then they kind of downshift the gear and they release the clutch, which means that the car is now engaged in a lower gear, but moving at the same momentum, right? That was there
Mhm.
before. So what this does is this allows them to turn the corner with complete control without losing any of the speed nor the momentum. Now just think about that, right? What this means is that they're able to go into the corner without flying off the track. And we all
Mhm.
know to win a race, you need to be on the track and you need to be
Mhm.
first. So
Mhm.
this technique really, it's pure physics, at its core. It's all mathematical equations. But frankly, the human driver, is their calculus, mental calculus, fractions of a
Right.
second, making these adjustments.
Pause or slow down to go faster, but you're not really slowing down. You're not really
Mm,
pausing. You're actually almost recalibrating on the fly as you go.
that's exactly right.
So it's, and then I also Googled this morning just trying to figure out, okay, so when you think of a NASCAR race or a Formula One race or any car race for that matter, where are the crashes? Where do the crashes happen?
Yeah.
That isn't, I know there's bumping and all that
Right.
stuff that causes them too, but I would imagine most of the driver caused crashes are in those corners, right? Either
Yep.
going in or coming out of that corner. Either you went in too hot or you're not shifting at the right times. You're not recalibrating your engine
Yep.
at the right time to come out with that additional momentum and to keep your momentum without falling behind.
And so these phrases that you guys are talking about, recalibrating on the fly and governing so that you don't lose momentum, those are things that make sense to me, even as you think about your day-to-day work, and even as
Right.
Rejuvi starts to think about the day-to-day work of leaders, across all of our communities. And so what I'm starting to think about here is this title called Blip the Throttle and Downshift. Has so much to do with, as we go back to our T chart here, blipping the throttle and downshift has so much to do with the hindrance of the mindset shift, right?
That's right.
The what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it has so much to do with the value of
Yeah.
reframing, because when you really unpack the hindrance of the what and you unpack the help of reframing, it's about combining strength of the leader and
Hmm.
strength of the business. It's
Business. Yep.
two
That's
things
right.
that need to happen in order for you to recalibrate on the fly. You
Yep.
have to, you have to blip, and then you have to shift.
Yep.
And
Yep.
just like inside of of leadership excellence, the future modern leadership, you have got to think about blipping the throttle, which is understanding how to help that leader become all he or she can be,
Yep.
in relationship to their team leader job, their their service leader job, their sales leader job, their senior leader job. In addition, you have to help them how to run an outstanding line,
Yep.
function, territory, or business. You have to do both. And I
Mm-hmm.
so I love this recalibration on the fly,
Yep.
governing.
Yep.
It's two things, right? It's blipping the throttle and it's downshifting.
Yep.
And it is also so connected to inside of leadership development, because if we want to move to not only fixing the hindrances, it means that enough of the nonsense. The what problem of leadership has to be blipped. And we have to address leader growth and business growth, right? And in addition, you need to downshift. You need to do both.
Yes.
I love this.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, totally. And just building on that too, couple of observations. So yes, it's the recalibration that the leader needs to do as they're moving their organization forward, right? At the same momentum, at the same pace, because you know what, the competitive landscape does not change, does not wait, right? And so if you suggest that a leader needs to step back and step away, learn things and come back in, well, that's not the right advice either. So it's that, but it's calibrating, right? As you're moving at pace, it's calibrating. But the thing I love about what you said is it's the leader and the business, right? So here the analogy, going back to what we just said, is the driver and the car, right?
Yes.
Or the driver and the engine, if you want to think of it even that way. And honestly, oftentimes when drivers don't have that micro adjustment, instinct around when to throttle and when to downshift, they break their engines literally. So in the same movie, Lorenzo Bandini tries to do that. He tries to push the RPMs way beyond what the capacity of the Ferrari is, and it blows the engine out and he loses the race. You know what I mean? So, and this happens in organizations all the time. All the time, right? Is that we teach leaders that, the way that you need to do it is keep pushing, right? Keep pushing. But the thing is, it's not about pushing, it's about governing, it's about calibrating and moving at the same pace. That comes with a lot of wisdom. And if you talk to any race car driver out there or anybody who's very good at their craft, the first thing they'll tell you is you need to slow down to become faster. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not literally slowing down, but it's like calibrating. It's like taking stock, understanding everything that's involved, and then blipping the throttle and downshifting because you need to go into that corner with complete control and complete power.
Yeah, it's a little bit, a little bit in my mind, I think of, in business, you have all these different levers to pull. Like that race car driver, it's knowing which levers to pull when, or if you need to go back and find a different lever that you don't already have.
That's right. Yeah.